What is this? First, it may be obvious, almost immediately, you know in your heart, that this is a pear. But actually, that perception is the product of many complex brain functions working simultaneously together. Pretty cool, right? Let's take a walk. Much like this rose, the brain has two central components, the brainstem and the cerebral cortex. Much like the stem that gives this flower life, the brainstem gives us life through the regulation of basic survival functions. The brainstem is the oldest and most central part of the brain. Spooked you, didn't I? I probably just made your breathe in a little quicker, maybe your heart rate a little faster. The medulla is located at the bottom of the brainstem and controls both breathing and heart rate. See you later, pal. The pons, another part of the brainstem, controls sleep patterns and dreams. In this example, a small creature wanders the dreamscape of his mind because of his pons, safely, peacefully, and most importantly, quietly. Let's move on to the cerebral cortex. The cerebral cortex controls the higher thought processes of the brain, and also the four distinct lobes that I'll get to in a minute. Please, follow me upstairs. If you couldn't hear what I was saying just now, it may mean you have impairment of your temporal lobe, or it may mean I wasn't saying anything at all. The temporal lobe is the portion of the brain that receives and interprets auditory signals. Can you say temporal lobe? If not, it may be because you have damage in that part of the brain. One part of the temporal lobe is Wernicke's area, which aids in understanding written and spoken word. Similarly, Broca's area is another part of the brain needed for language. However, instead of interpreting language, Broca's area is used for expressing. For example, take these two seemingly identical phrases. I love my mom. I love my mom. Thanks to old Brockie, I know the difference between those two phrases and what each one means when I say them differently. Unlike Wernicke's area, Broca's area is located in the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is the last lobe to develop in the brain and is used in thought processing and decision making. Take this example for instance. Do I save this acquaintance from death? Or do I eat a delicious Nabisco Premium Soup and Oyster cracker? I'll have to consult my frontal lobe to decide. What would you do? I know what I'd choose. Oh, hello there. Another region of the brain is the occipital lobe. The occipital lobe receives and transmits visual information through the neurons. Without this lovely lobe, I wouldn't be able to see anything, let alone the answers I'm currently copying for the unit final. Finally, we have the parietal lobe. The parietal lobe controls sensations such as pain and temperature. A few examples. For instance, have you ever stuck your hand into the cookie jar only to have it slapped away by your mother? Oh!
Or perhaps you're in the bathtub taking a bath. When your mother walks in, she turns the temperature way up. It's pretty hot in there, isn't it? Or maybe, just maybe, you're walking in your house one day and you slip and you fall and you hurt your rump. And then your mom walks in. She's beating you and yelling at you. Just quit being such a baby. And you're sitting there crying and you're yelling and then you pee yourself. And you're wet and you're warm and you want everyone to just go away.
Have you ever felt that way before? All of those are sensations due in part to the parietal lobe. Brain is, without question, the most essential piece of this unsolvable puzzle we like to call the human body. Hopefully, this little video of mine helped you appreciate and learn more about the thing we all refer to as life. See you next time, kids. Everywhere you look.